And so it begins. Don't be a clone, stand alone, dare to be different. All my life I have aspired to be a motivational speaker. I enjoy being in the midst of people, I love to socialize, and I love to give hope where there's hopelessness. This movement all started when I was a young kid and my mom would send me and my brother to school. And one sentiment that she would echo often is, watch your behavior, sons. You're a direct reflection of this household. And that stuck with me up till now, my adulthood, and me being a father. I tell my kids the same thing. You are a direct reflection of this household. So watch how you treat people, how you act, and the kind of impact that you have on the people around you and in society. Often I'll get compliments about my boys, and people will say, you just have the most outstanding young men. And after I say thank you, I always in the back of my mind give my mom kudos, echoing that sentiment. You are a direct reflection of this household. Now that translates into the movement that we're starting now. Dare to be different. Dare to be different came from a conversation with me and my boys. Kids nowadays are very entitled, very rude, lack respect for authority. And that's most. And so I tell my boys, why don't you stand alone? When you're at school, be different than the social norm at this time. If there's a kid that's socially awkward, if there's a kid that suffers from some kind of disability, don't be that kid that walks by and doesn't speak. Don't be that kid that looks down and passes judgment. Be that kid that incorporates them in social activities. Let them feel your kind spirit. Okay? Dare to be different than most. And I promise you, your kindness and your consistency at being the person that you should be is going to have a bigger impact and a lasting impact on society and the world. Now, coming out of high school, I had always aspired to play collegiate basketball. That was my first love. Well, there were some changes upon my senior year. I signed a letter of intent to play football at the University of Central Oklahoma. I had played defensive back. For those that know the game of football, those guys can't catch the ball very well. And so upon going to college, I realized that I was recruited as an athlete. And they didn't want me to play defensive back. They wanted me to play wide receiver. The interesting thing was, I couldn't catch. So my first year and a half was pretty rough. But that is when I really embraced the whole movement of Dare to be Different. The college world can be a transition from small town to a big stage. And there's a lot going on, from social life to classes to mandatory meetings, practices. And while some of my friends would party or choose to socialize and do different things, I chose to work on my craft. I practiced after practice. I caught 200 balls a day. I would go run routes by myself on air without someone throwing the ball to me. I dared to be different. I modeled some of the guys like Jerry Rice and Chris Carter, people before me, and I'd watch their workouts, and I seen their successes. And I knew that I had that motivation, and I knew I had that willpower that I wanted to be great. I graduated in 2003 from the University of Central Oklahoma, and in 2020, I was inducted into the UCO Hall of Fame as a wide receiver. I still own several records there. My abilities, my dedication and commitment to my craft has carried on into my professional life. I've worked in the psych field for 14 years. I inspired people, motivated people. I enjoyed being of service. Probably worked with some of you all's family or friends. After that, now I'm back into coaching and teaching. I really enjoy this realm. I feel like you touch the most lives when you start at this early age, trying to impact human beings at an early age before they jump into adulthood and start to put their label or their stamp on the world. That's how I know that we are in a very difficult place when it comes to this generation. Dare to be Different couldn't come at a better time right now. I challenge everyone in a world that is full of people that just want to clone what they see in social media or what they see out in the world, wanting to be embraced and accepted for somebody else's lifestyle. I challenge you to be yourself. There's approximately 7.6 billion people in the world, and all of us are uniquely different. That's what makes this world so amazing. Don't embrace and don't feed into the negativity that is constantly tearing us down as a world. Step outside your comfort zone. Talk to a stranger, no matter their ethnical, cultural, or their classification out in the general public. Be something different that you see. Be something different than the social norm. I also encourage you to follow me on YouTube. Dare to be different, DD Carter. Look into some of the merchandise that I'm selling. And if you don't do anything else, hopefully you'll benefit from my speakings. Every Friday I'm going to be on here, encouraging, trying to bring hope to the hopelessness, and trying to shed a little light on the darkness that we see in the world today. Be strong as Ukrainians right now. Just be the light that the world needs, and dare to be different.